Hello to everyone out there and welcome to episode 7 of the LOWBAT Podcast. This week we are joined by Tyler and Mike from the band Emerald Beach. We talk about their new single titled Algorithms and the process of filming the music video for it. We openly admire the talents of their drummer Cliff and also share a few interesting tour stories. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you are tuning in from so you can be the first to know about new episodes. And now, here's our conversation with Tyler and Mike from Emerald Beach.
You are now listening to the LOWBAT Podcast,
a weekly show highlighting members of our local creative community and featuring topical conversations with members of the LOWBAT production team. We're your hosts, Casey House
and Fabian Castaneda. Through our own experiences as musicians, visual artists, and business owners, we saw an opportunity to provide a platform for people just like us to deep dive into what it's like to pursue a lifestyle outside of the norm.
Without further ado, welcome to the LOWBAT Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the LOWBAT Podcast. Me and Casey are joined here with a couple members of the band Emerald Beach. We have Tyler Curling and Mike Baker. How are you guys doing?
Chilling. Swell. How about you?
I'm good. How are you, Casey?
I'm overstuffed from Chipotle, but besides that, I'm all right. So before we get into anything, I want to immediately talk about the new single that isn't out yet, but we've gotten to hear it.
And by the time this all drops, it'll be out. So.
Yeah. It was so. I'm already a fan of y'all's. Let that be known. Favorite song I have written down here. Giving Away Something Beautiful. Love that song. Obviously released under Paragon, but. Is that something you guys would still be playing? I wanted to know about that.
So ideally the goal was to re-release that under Emerald Beach's name. Okay. We're just kind of waiting on the opportunity to do that, as well as the single before that, Lost in Translation. So,
okay, are you going to be doing any re-recording or just re-release?
Just re-release for now. We were considering redoing Lost in Translation's drums, but other than that, yeah.
Okay.
Just because that was the only one we didn't do live.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that all pre-recorded.
Really?
That was before Cliff even came on, so...
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That single came out
sounds
when
great.
We had the other guy, Scott, and he just kind of looked through the drums and was like, yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Well, new single is going to be called Algorithms, and it's coming out March 26th. So once this airs, it'll already be out, so definitely go check it out. I had some questions about it. Before getting into the video, I wanted to talk about the song itself and kind of... You guys did this with Beasley, correct? Okay, so kind of walk me through that process, and I'm also curious about how long ago you even recorded this.
We sat on it for a while. It's we had it for. I think we've had the song for about a year now.
July 2019, I think, is when we recorded it.
Yeah,
a year and a half.
Wow. We've been sitting on it. So we did 3 singles at the same time. Takeaway was one of them, and then Algorithms as well. And we got one more after this. So this one in particular, we went into the studio and we went like with nothing, like no riffs, nothing, just completely blank slate, and like did it naturally and decided just like where the song would go, we just let it lead the way. And so that's why all 3 of these singles are so different from each other. Yeah,
I can definitely hear the difference just between the 2 that are out right now. Is like I really get almost like a Emarosa vibe from Algorithms and the video. So I was trying to pick apart the lyrics and find a tie to COVID, which seemingly the video is inspired by, but now knowing it was written and recorded beforehand, it makes sense that I was like, I don't hear the, I couldn't find the correlation between it.
Right.
So recording with Beasley, you guys have done all your stuff with Beasley, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for our very debut single, but all the stuff since then has been with Beasley.
Okay. Your debut, who did that?
Zach Jones.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yo, what up, Zach?
Big My Enemies and I fan. So. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
He's listening. He has to be.
Oh, I'm he's a big fan of ours too. I'm sure.
Exactly.
Listens every week. So as far as the song itself, what was the inspiration behind what you were writing about at the time?
You're talking like the actual song's meaning and like the lyrics.
Yeah, the lyrics behind it.
So the song itself is disguised in a more general way, where it's about like failed romance and like stuff. But actually, the song itself is about the difficulty of coming out on a very loud social media scene.
Okay.
So the struggle that artists face getting their name out there with all this like stuff, like promotions and like ads and all that stuff. It's like a lot of noise. So that's kind of what the song's more about.
Okay.
On the secret side. So
I mean, it's not really talked about enough, but yeah, like it's cool that there's, you know, the availability with like social media and with like Spotify and Apple Music that like anybody can hear your music, but it's also
And anyone can put their music out.
everybody else also has their music out.
It's
So,
a gift and a curse.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's the double-edged sword.
it's like, how are you going to shine through all the other songs and everybody else?
Right.
Is that something that you guys have given any like thought to, and like what's something that you guys feel like you may be doing differently or that you're planning on doing differently to fix that kind of issue?
So for me personally, it's finding a lot of more personal satisfaction in our music than like trying hard to hit a specific like wave, you know? So I'm a firm believer that the natural like the natural vibes we get put into the music from us will translate through all of the noise. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm hoping that us going into this new sound, this more like flowing and free and happier sound, will kind of like hit that for people too, you know, like the same way that it hits that for me. So
In terms of like how to break through that medium of getting through social media to get out there, you either have to like digress and just release like vinyl or CDs and that's it, or just embrace it and hope you do punch through that ceiling. So we kind of just took a gamble and made fun of it and just kind of hoped that we could like break through with it or break through with something else and it just be part of the foundation, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And you're going to have people relating to that, like 'cause, you know,
Exactly.
musicians and artists and things like that. They're also enjoying music and things like that. Now we're recording this on March 19th. There's a lot of music that's out today, like that just released today.
Just today.
And I feel like that's going to be a common thing moving forward the next few months because all these artists and bands, they recorded music because they couldn't do anything as far as touring or anything like that. How do you think that's going to shape how music looks like for the rest of the year?
It's interesting because like as it gets more and more oversaturated and like faster and faster release cycles are getting shorter and shorter, it's difficult to tell where it will go, you know, at least from my perspective.
From my perspective, I think like smaller groups are going to have their niche, you know, like they're going to have their following where like they're going to like, hey, we released this year and people are going to know about it and they're going to have that set community listening to their stuff. And if, you know, it clicks in their head enough, because I know I have albums that I listened to from last year that just like still reverb to me now, and they all came out during the pandemic. And I know this year is going to be the same thing. I'm going to hear something new. I'm going to stick with that for a little while now.
Is that like a reason why y'all decided to like release music, like even like because y'all had something last year, right?
We did.
Exactly.
Yeah, we had I forget the name. Take away.
And what,
Yeah, that's something that always like interests me. Like, is bands the decision to release music now or not release music now?
Yeah,
it's like that's obviously it has to be a discussion and a decision.
We kind of got a weird hit with ours because we released ours like the day before George Floyd's situation, and we didn't take it out or anything. We just didn't promote it anymore, you know, to kind of like help the feed not be cluttered with everything going on, you know, just let people do their thing. And it didn't get as much of a following, but you know, that's what happens, you know?
Yeah. And especially like with the rebranding and everything, it's kind of, it's like a start over, but like there's only so much that you can do right now. Obviously the with it being not only flooded by music, but like the times that we're living in and how crazy politics and everything that's going on, COVID, there's just there's a lot of noise, but like necessary noise that like you don't want to be like, hey, come look at my album while people are like dying or whatever's happening.
And like I used to I share memes all the time on Facebook and stuff, you know, when that whole Black Lives Matter movement was going on and stuff. I went quiet for them, so I didn't flood everybody with just stupid, idiotic things when there's like real serious stuff going on. You know, just really,
and, you know, with the whole, especially the blackouts that were out on social medias, we're like, you know, we're going to take a day to just not promote because there are more important things.
Legitimately, I literally blacked out. Yeah, I didn't even want anybody to see me. Just let everybody else be part of the focus.
Yeah, and I like for me, not to like, you know, get, it's not even a political issue, but my decision that I made throughout most of 2020 was to like to basically do exactly that. I just decided to shut up and listen and like learn from, instead of feeling, if in the past I've felt like I don't know, vilified or whatever for being white, or which is stupid. And I realized it made no sense, but it was coming from a place of uneducation.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, let me just be quiet for a while and just listen and pay attention and like see what I can learn. And there's so much that you learn from other people's experiences.
It helped us a lot too that our drummer grew up in that culture as well,
He was able to
had
educate
that.
us.
Yeah, and he really educated us and helped us with it. And solid dude, we love him.
I love Cliff so much.
He's
I was
such a talented
Too,
drummer.
he's too good for his own.
I
good.
will absolutely admit I was upset whenever I was told he wasn't going to be able to come
he's
today.
working tonight.
Yeah, he's working. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad too because I've missed so many opportunities to. I think my former band played with you guys once or twice, and both times something was going on where I had to leave, and I didn't. And I was like,
yeah.
Cliff came up to me and like talked to me and was like, "Yo, like I'm so stoked for you to see us." And I was like, I genuinely am stoked to watch you guys too. And then something else came up.
Things like that happen. You can't let it bother you. And just hope for the next one. That's
Yeah,
really-
I mean, this is definitely giving me perspective
exactly.
to be like, all right, I don't really care what else is going on.
Yeah,
And
we were gonna open for Devil Wears Prada too. Like
Yeah.
we kind of missed that.
right
no.
before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Was
hit.
it
And
was
I
it Canal
remember
Club?
that.
It was at Elevation.
It was at
27.
Elevation? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
That hurt. That one hurt
that was a big
lot.
sting.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I feel like, I mean, every artist had like something that they were looking forward to last
Yeah.
year. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like I had a lot of friends in the music scene that had some really cool stuff going on. I was getting some behind the scene news. It was like, oh, I'm really happy for you all. I hope it works well. And then nothing worked for
And then
anyone.
just
Yeah.
all got shot dead.
So when quarantine started, we actually took a moment and got in, my studio and started just writing. We were really like refining our sound and like going in and like trying to just define what Emerald Beach means. And so I feel like it was kind of a blessing. The quarantine was kind of a blessing for us to get our cards together.
Mhm.
And now moving forward into these singles coming up, like we're really like excited for them, for everyone to just like feel it and be a part of the songs, and also just personally excited about our music too. So it comes from, I feel like there's a lot more appreciation for releasing your music now,
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting too, as we've been doing these podcasts, that's been kind of consistent. Everybody has been like, these parts of it have sucked, but it's given everybody the opportunity to like take a step back and be like, all right, well, let me actually think this through and see what I was doing wrong, what I could be doing better, what I was doing right. And everybody seemingly is planning on coming out on top.
This is a big cultural change for everything too. Like this really is gonna like 180 what some of us called the norm for a while there.
Especially in Virginia Beach. Like, I'm curious
definitely.
about the unfortunate thing of venues closing down, and they're like, as far as like a mid-size or below venue, it almost doesn't exist anymore.
Well, as the demand comes up, I'm sure that the venues will come back too. So.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's going to be like we like the first couple shows back, no matter where they are and how expensive they are, everybody's just like, I just want to go to a show.
So do something.
Exactly.
You have
Like-
people that like were literally that maybe hadn't gone to shows before, haven't seen live music before, and be like, man, I just want to do something. So
Right.
let's listen to music.
Mm.
Like I have a feeling that's gonna potentially help like the supply and demand in the area.
I see house shows being more relevant now than they were before.
House
for
shows are the
sure.
best too, so I hope
They're double-edged
Oh,
swords
yeah.
for sure. I love them and I hate them.
swords.
You
for
know?
sure. You definitely lose a lot in production value, and you lose a lot in like security.
Yeah, security and sketchiness too. Like those ratios really go up too. Like it's really weird, and then we're like, we don't know if we want to do that again. But
it's so sick too, because you could have 30 people there, which normally would be like, oh, there's 30
But they're
people
like,
here.
there's 20
But
people
it's
you
30
don't
people
even
in the
know.
living room, and it's
Everybody's
just like,
pumped.
dude,
Yeah.
it's just a place pops
Exactly.
off. It doesn't matter. Like, I love that.
There's an old house we used to go to play or watch house shows at by University of Richmond. I forget what they called it.
Yellow House.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, that house was great.
Yellow House was awesome. I saw Capstan and Belmont there, and that was
I was
such
there.
we were there.
We were there.
Oh, that's all, so. Yeah, that was such a good show.
We hung out with John Carteret that night too. Yeah,
It was a fun night.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a
Good
really
boy.
good show.
But I guess that all of that, like the whole situation with like quarantine and like all the stuff that went down, and I think that's kind of why we chose that theme for the music video, was finding that appreciation in what we do and equating the pandemic to what we would consider the pandemic of social media.
Okay,
I like it. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a cool way to relate all that.
That is
kinda
that's
tie it all
interesting. And you directed it, right?
I did.
That is really impressive because that video turned out phenomenal.
I did not know what I was doing.
Really? Okay. I wanted to ask about that.
I knew what I was doing like at the end, but like in the beginning, like I remember the first day we shot Cliff's like
the newscaster
thing, and I was trying to figure out what to do and how to like direct and stuff, but like Cliff was already in character. He was just kind of doing his own thing. And I was like, I really can't, he can't listen to me right now. He's not in the moment. The only thing I had was everybody else, and I was trying to get everybody in check. And but by the second time, when it was like the four of us doing stuff, it was a lot more rigid and a lot more cut and paste kind of stuff.
So when I watched it for the first time, the first thing that I noticed is like how each scene really did flow into each other. Everything was related. How was the planning for that? Or the
Did you storyboard everything out?
We storyboard everything.
Oh,
my God.
yes.
That is so funny because like I was mentioning the casing. I was like, all the music videos I've shot, or at least I have in Revenant, like nothing is planned. We just show up and like, oh, that looks cool. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's just figure out how we can incorporate this.
I couldn't handle that. Like after experiencing like my getting my toes wet with LOWBAT with helping with video shoots and stuff. We're working on one right now with somebody that we're in the early stages of, but it's like I've been kind of learning about the why it matters, why it's like every single shot is already pre-planned, and it's like stuff gets added and removed, but it's we know exactly what we're doing, where we're going, and why.
We shot enough like B-roll to do like another half of a music video.
Wow.
Oh, sure.
There's so much in there. Like some of the trailer that we just released, like today's trailer, I can see some of the clips and I'm like, oh, that's not in there. How are they going to know about that? And it's whatever now. But I remember we went in to go edit it, and we were like, yeah, this isn't going to fit. And I felt bad about some of the scenes because I was like, wow, we put a lot of work into this one.
This was a good scene.
There's like a scene where like we all had like a cheers, and then like the camera like came up to our cheers of us taking shots, and we did like that. We did that take for like probably 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, trying to get the right,
trying to get it right,
get
and
the
then
camera to go up
it
at the
didn't
same
fit,
time.
and it was like, well, crap.
That could I'm sure that'll find a place in a post or something
later on, but it got put in the trailer, so like that.
Okay.
I was like, that's the consolation prize for that one.
Yeah, it's always like you think about when you're recording things, like even if it's music, but like music video in general, there's so many scenes that not everything makes it. I'm pretty sure, like even before I joined Revenant, like I think like Vane. Do you remember Vane? Like it was supposed to have a story.
That was like 6 years ago.
But like literally, like the whole story got scrapped, so it just became performance.
Oh,
so like sometimes things just don't work out, so that just happens.
The performance shots were obviously like the best part.
Dude, it went so smoothly.
Yeah, we cleaned out that garage. We put a nice rug down, like a brand new, just bought from Ollie's rug.
How much did that rug cost?
Like what, $50?
Ollie's is where you get rugs. This rug, Ollie's.
Really?
They got
rugs everywhere else are so expensive. Rugs are like hundreds of dollars.
I don't understand the pilot for Archer, because like didn't they have like a dead hooker or something that they had to like roll up in a I remember there was an Archer episode they had that, and I'm like, why are you upset about this? Just go to Ollie's. Like,
you could just get a new
really
one for $20.
Nice rug there at Ollie's. You know,
they are the bargain outlet.
They really are, and like it was a good pattern. I loved it, and like we did that. Rug. We put lights up. And
the room looked really cool.
Oh, it was so aesthetic.
Whose house was it at?
It was at our house.
Yeah.
Okay,
everything was shot at our house. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everything was literally everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were like super comfortable in the area, so I could tell that it was probably someone's house.
It was definitely.
Mike, you got some moves when you're jamming on the bass, man.
Yeah,
that booty shot. I was like, wow, that's a bold play there.
I do have a gigantic ass. I got to show off.
So got that dump truck.
I gotta let people know I'm frumping.
He's got that Pixar mom ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I agree with Fabian that like it was very clear from start to finish, like that there was like a plan and where it was heading, and I especially love for the last chorus whenever everybody's together, all the B-roll shots really keep the energy up, and like it just made it fun. And I need to know where you got your fur coat.
Yo, I have a story. So I knew the next video we were gonna do, I wanted to do a fur coat.
Okay,
I really wanted to get on the Halloween.
That was pre-planned. That's awesome.
I knew. I was like, I'm gonna do it. Like I wanted to pull a card from Hall & Oates. I was just like, I want to be Hall & Oates. So I didn't find this coat until like 2 days before the shoot. Like I was like searching.
You were crunching.
Yes, every thrift store. Like all the way from the peninsula, Virginia Beach, all of it. I looked and I finally found it. and it was like $20.
Hell yeah.
And I almost didn't get it. Like I saw it and I was like, I don't like that there's like lines, like there's like lines where the fur isn't at. And I was like, I
didn't even notice that. You
Yeah,
can't even see it.
you weren't even. Yeah, you couldn't even see it.
So like,
I
but
didn't
then
even know about that till
eventually
right
I was
now.
like, no, I gotta go get it. So I like ran back the next day, and it was
still there.
Did everybody else know that you were going to be showing up in that, or did you walk in and everybody was like,
He
yo?
told me, and I was like, I don't believe you. And then he showed up, and I was like, I believe you.
Oh man,
Yeah.
It was the perfect pop that was
Yeah.
that was needed for that
the,
part.
The
It was
sprinkling on the donut.
so
Oh,
hot.
yeah.
Oh,
It
I'm
was
sure.
I
So
bet.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the time he got on there, when like all three of us had already like sweated everything out, the cameras had been rolling, the lights are on, and everything is hot. You know, we couldn't open a window, and like he's just in there in a fur coat, and I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I bet
also
you're
just
hot.
a tad too small for me. Like,
Ooh.
so,
Oh man,
but I was
playing
like,
a guitar too. You're like,
yeah, I was
the
like,
strap kind of
but I
came
was-
off of his guitar too, and I was like, you need to get
Yeah,
strap
one
locks, dude.
take
Come
the
on.
strap came off.
You don't have strap locks?
So
He
funny-
just got him.
I just got the guitar too. That's
You've
a new
gone this
guitar.
whole time without strap locks?
No,
he
no,
just
I've
got
got
the
It's
guitar.
just his guitar.
That guitar
Yeah.
I had didn't have strap locks.
Oh, okay.
And like the strap just came off one shot, and I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, and that's
man.
the telly with the
Yeah,
Yeah.
the sandblasted.
yo. That looks
My
sick.
baby.
was
It's
the
my baby.
coolest.
And it like matches your coat now.
Oh yeah.
Like,
We almost
I
got
probably won't wear that again though. That was hot.
We
nah,
almost got
that needs to be. You have to wear it everywhere you go now.
We
every
almost
That's
show.
got
gotta be part of your
tweed,
persona now.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll wear it next show. When the shows come back, I'll hit the first one.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be it's
Inauguration
gonna be like
jacket.
late summer too, so it's gonna be nice and warm.
Oh,
Cliff
yeah.
retired the finesse hat, so we need a new
did.
thing.
He did.
Yeah, he always wears like the same hat every
Mm-hmm.
show. I think the only one he didn't was the first one, and he was like, yeah, it was my aunt's, and he lost it for a while, and he was like, yeah, I think about retiring it anyway, and he found it right before we started shooting again. I was like, yo, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Cliff definitely has a look, so I feel like everybody needs to have their thing.
Yes, they're niche.
Yeah.
They're a little hole.
So you're very lucky that you only had to do the last chorus and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the fade out of the song,
Yep.
basically.
Yeah.
Like you really didn't have to do that much.
Mm-mm. And it was funny when we shot that shot in particular with all the people jumping in the performance shot. That was all one shot. And it started with Cliff, and then we would
And
let
then
Cliff
Matthew
play
come
until the
in.
chorus, and then Matthew would jump in.
And then I
Excuse me.
jump in, and
And
then
then-
Tyler jump in at the end.
So the whole time that performance shot is being shot, I'm just below the camera, ducked down like this, hiding down there, and like just waiting for it. I can't see them, and I'm just listening for my cue, and it's hot. And then
Just imagine standing like that for 2 minutes in a fur coat.
and then when it
with
finally
boots.
comes up, I'm like, I just jump up to the camera.
You jump up and like your knees give out because you've been
yeah.
squatted for so long. Oh no, I wasn't ready.
My old legs. My leg.
I wanted to. I've been wondering this for forever. You mentioned the meaning of Emerald Beach, and I want to know the meaning of Emerald Beach, and then why the name change.
There was so the name change came from another band. There is another Paragon out there
Oh,
in
really?
the world. Yeah. And they're the speed metal band from like Berlin. So
Nice.
they're super cool. They're from like they're from the 90s, I think, or something a little earlier.
That's
And
awesome.
they had been like nothing out for like decades, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, we might be okay.
Casey, this sounds really familiar.
Mm-hmm. Having
yeah.
to give him Hellkit too.
Oh, really? So they
And
released-
Revenant.
Oh,
they released a new album, and they released a new album, and they're like headlining festivals in Germany, and I'm like, oh no.
but it also helped with us too because we were changing sounds too, and it was
Mm.
kind of weird. We were going from like an alt rock band going to that, and then like an R&B like fusion going to
Mm.
that. So it made sense to change the name
Mhm.
for sure because we were thinking about something that was going to vibe and really
Mm.
like stand out, and it sounded really local too. You know, being from the beach area,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to say like just Green Beach. It's like what's a good name for Green Emerald?
So is it not? So it's not a Sonic reference.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
We
even though-
saw
Casey
it in
just got
Sonic
super
and stuff.
upset.
I
Yeah,
do
like-
think it's a Mario Kart court though. Now that I think about
I
it.
think you're thinking of Peach's Beach or huh?
It's Sonic, right? Yeah,
It
it's
is
Sonic.
Sonic.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's Sonic.
Oh yeah. Well, no,
Okay.
it's not. I
I think it's not one of the main ones. It was like from like Sonic Advance or something. But I'm pretty sure Emerald Beach is a Sonic thing.
Okay.
That's kind of sick. I'm kind of cool.
Hell
I'm kind of
yeah.
okay with that. Yeah.
Until
A
until
good
you get
realization.
another a DMCA or whatever, and
Right.
it's like, well,
I
Take
really
three.
hope. I really hope not, because believe it or not, there are no Emerald Beach bands out there.
It's kind
You
of
should be good. You should be
Yeah.
good then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were hoping. There's an Emerald Royce or whatever. Tyler Carter's new
Oh yeah,
project.
Oh, yeah.
He has a new project.
He does.
Yeah.
That's
Yes, he just
unfortunate.
released some music.
Oh,
Yeah.
Revenant had y'all too, right? That's
Yeah,
why
we-
it's
yeah.
RVNT. That's why it's
That's
Runt now.
why it's we
Really?
don't know what our band is. Yeah, there
Seems
was
to be the rite of passage.
exactly. No, there was
Just change your name.
evidently
It's fine.
there was like some bar band or something like that in like Louisville, Kentucky that had a trademark.
Mm,
So like, whatever.
what can you do?
What can you do?
Exactly.
Were they a similar style?
Yeah, there. I mean, it's trademarked as under like music entertainment.
Well, sure, yeah.
So,
But,
like-
but were they also like a metalcore band or?
No, they're like old people.
Oh,
Old people rock
man,
band.
get over yourself.
Fogies.
Exactly. So, and it's what's crappy is like it wasn't even they didn't even like come at us. Just Facebook just deleted our page.
Really?
Just said, "Hey, you have this many days to change your name," and then like the next day it was like just delete.
Wow.
I don't think I knew
before,
that.
Right before the band, like it was like a month or two before the band was going to release the debut EP.
It happened that early?
Yeah.
Wow.
Another
Yeah,
reason to write
the
songs
band
to
like
bash
this is
social
before
media.
I was in the band, but the band had CDs printed that spelt out Revenant,
Yeah, all the original.
and then they had to print more that were
I think the one that I got still said Revenant. So
yeah, because
I,
you're probably one of the first ones.
I wish I.
Well, yeah, the
I don't
second
think I have it
batch
anymore.
spelled out RVNT.
Yeah, that's,
Wow.
I mean, that's kind of like the whole algorithms thing, you know, like you got to change something if it's too similar. And,
Because of like the
Dude, the
saturation.
name makes so much sense
Saturation.
now too. I just put that together in my head too.
Ooh.
Man, it's so well thought out.
It's almost like when I told you what the music video was about.
initially, so the music
We're not
video
gonna
wasn't
go there.
going to be a pandemic thing. We had written something back in October
was
we were going
very
to do
high
like
demanding.
before, and I was really gunning for it. I was dying on that mountain for that one. It was going to be a Shrek wedding kind of thing, like an old Renaissance themed wedding.
Wait, so like actually using Shrek or just
Not
the theme?
Shrek, just
Okay.
like I guess
Well,
like
I
a
say, who
rags
was
to
gonna be
riches,
Shrek?
like a peasant marrying a princess thing, and like
Okay.
and like the whole like dynamacy of that, like how that was gonna work out,
Mhm.
and like looking at what we needed, and like we were gonna have CGI and stuff, and I was like,
Ooh.
oh, we could do that, and like we were looking at the list and how much it was gonna cost just for costumes, and I was like, ow. Ow.
Yep.
Oof. And then pandemic happened and we couldn't get enough people in, and I was like, yeah, no, we can't do it anymore. We got to do something else. What can we do?
It worked out so
What can we
much
do?
better though. It worked out
did.
so much better.
I mean, I definitely just enjoyed like how you were able to accomplish it with like the small group of people that you had.
Exactly.
Now, one thing I did notice in the video was the shoulder dance thing.
Yeah.
All right. So
Oh,
how
yeah.
was coordinating that with like 10 plus people?
we just had the camera shooting at them, and then I just kind of like we both kind of like did it, and then they watched us do it. We did a couple practice runs with the song playing, and like we just like follow the beat of the kick. That's all we told them. Just
I would have just put out like a metronome and be like, just do it with the metronome. That's it.
we wanted the song playing. We wanted them to know when their cues were. So it helped that it was like it helped that it followed the beat.
Mm-hmm.
We were gonna plan on doing like a
Full
full
deal.
choreographed
Yeah.
dance. Like me and Cliff were gonna plan one just to like
Wow.
just to
Didn't
flex on
happen.
the haters, and me and Cliff couldn't find the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I got something else. And like that was like improv like last second.
Really?
Yeah.
And like, I haven't had an opportunity to talk to Cliff much. He seems like a dude that could be dancing all the time.
He can dance.
He can. Yeah,
He can
I
dance
saw
if
it.
he
Like,
wants to.
like I in the
play
beginning.
sax, too.
Behind.
Oh yeah, you
Like
can.
ridiculous.
If his friends don't
That
dance,
dude's sax
and if
skills
they
are
don't
nuts.
dance, they're no friends
He's
of
very
mine.
good. At
Oh, wow.
He another song. I think it came out today from Dead Friends that he's on.
Yep.
And I heard the sax and I was like, that's really funny because y'all song and everything, and I was like, I just made me think of Cliff, and then I watched the credits and I was like, oh, that's awesome. There he is.
Yeah, we saw it and we heard it, and I was like, there he is.
Just spreading his sax everywhere.
Saxy
He's
man.
How much- does he
he's
play
getting
other
sax
instruments?
all over everybody?
Drums and sax. Is there anything
Plays
else?
drums and sax. He can sing. I don't know what else.
I'm
he can
sure
play.
he's got something else in his back pocket.
He was
doesn't
trying to
tell
play
A
us.
man of
trumpet.
many talents.
Yes, so many talents.
Play tambourine like nobody's business.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sure.
you know,
I'm
he's
sure he can
killing
hit that triangle like
Mhm.
like it's
Well,
like
dude,
it owes
Casey,
him money.
in the video, he was playing the tambourine while drumming.
That's what
at
I'm
the
saying,
same
yeah.
time. Like
Yeah.
that is impressive.
He did a fill that involves a bit of a roll with one hand in the video. I was like, wow, okay, all right,
Just flexing.
Suspense of disbelief.
yeah. I was like, yep, he definitely did that.
I was going to hear this part and go big act.
So this is your first video.
Yes.
Why? Like what made you take on that? I'm glad that you did because the video is sick. But what made you take on that role?
Oh man, I've always wanted to do like I've always had crazy ideas go on for like music videos and just concepts in general. And Tyler's like, yeah, do it. Do this.
Just
like,
do it.
Just take it. Just
Did you have
take
any
charge.
equipment, or did you have to buy it all?
Oh,
for
so
the
like
video?
we had our friend Zach shoot everything, and we edited through Zach. Like,
Okay.
I just like told him where to point it.
You directed it.
I directed. I literally
Okay.
just directed it. He was holding the camera. I was just telling him where to hold it at.
He's who has the DP credit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He is the one who is in charge of that. I don't know anything about camera angles and aperture and my focus and stuff and my ISOs. And especially editing. Like, I didn't even have editing software.
You just had the vision.
Yes, I just had the idea.
Okay.
And he made it happen. Like, all that, yeah, like, I directed it, but that's his eye.
Mhm.
That's my brain processing the eye, but that's his eye.
So the editing was through him, or it was like a mixture?
It was through him, but I just kind of like, I directed him through the editing process.
We
as
were
well.
involved in that.
We were all
process.
involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, me, Tyler, and Cliff, we're all in that.
So after this experience, how do you feel about doing another one?
I'd love to.
Really?
Yes.
Jumping at the idea?
Absolutely.
Is the third single going to have a video?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it going to be directed by you?
Yes.
And it's in the garage too, maybe.
Yeah.
Really?
We need extras for it. So like, this is you guys, and this is a call out to the microphone people who are listening in. If they want to get in on this, they got to message us and they got to let us know.
I'm sure the song will be just as killer. You said it's different. Is it happier vibe, sadder vibe?
Yes.
I think it's like kind of got some attitude to it.
Ooh.
It's
It's got some
Attitude,
spice.
bite.
It's a little
little
spicy.
bitier.
It's a little spicy.
Okay.
And the more the merrier for the extras too, by the way.
And it may or may not connect to the other singles we've put out under Emerald Beach so far.
Okay.
We're gonna try.
It may or may not be the final piece to the puzzle. So
I can't wait for y'all to release that, but re-release the other music, because I hate that I can't hear the old songs
Oh, yeah.
anymore.
yeah, they came down.
Yeah,
They-
that's-
the
They're on
TuneCore.
YouTube still.
Yeah.
which is where I listened to them yesterday,
Yeah.
because we went through all the videos and all the old stuff, and
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, this Giving Away Something Beautiful is just, that's such a good song. I love that song.
Believe it or not, that had a different chorus when we recorded it the first time.
It did.
We
did.
changed it up completely.
Yeah.
Was that a in studio with Beasley type of
Yeah,
deal? Okay.
Mhm.
Like he changed up that, and then like the whole song for Condensed Breathe
Yeah,
In.
Condensed Breathe In got a total reworkshop.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
those are the only two that really.
Yeah, the other ones
got
were
it.
the same as the demos.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we I just came off recently working with him. We're going back up a little later on, and I couldn't recommend him.
I
And
love
we,
him.
it's
He's such a
funny. We
monster.
just
Yeah.
with Cam, we were just talking about Beasley, and here we are.
Mm.
Beasley, here you go again. A little bit more praise.
Yeah, man.
I remember like the last day we were finished recording and stuff. His studio's right next to the Mellow Mushroom there in Richmond. He's like,
Mhm.
"Yo, let's go, man! It's happy hour. Let's go do it."
Yeah.
We got all messed up on sour monkeys and stuff, and he's like, "Yo, I got some tequila shots for us too, dude." And I'm like, "No!" And like I had a tequila shot, and then all those and the sour monkeys and the Italian sub. But just I was out. I was blitzed. And
Cliff
then
had told me too about before you guys went up there,
Mhm.
that you guys were going up there with
nothing
nothing,
yeah, nothing.
there.
which terrified me, because I was in the planning stages of like writing stuff and going up afterwards, and I was like, I couldn't imagine just going and being like, let's just write a record together. That like what if you like, I don't know, hit a wall or whatever, and it just doesn't happen. Obviously, it didn't. You guys came out with phenomenal
Right.
music, but
I find that hitting the walls is kind of what makes the best moments in music. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, because I couldn't recommend doing that enough. Like, if the producer is down to like really workshop music, I couldn't recommend it enough. It just opens your eyes to tons of millions of different possibilities that a song can go to. And I find that it allows you to open your mind to allowing the song to go wherever it wants to go, you know?
Mhm.
And
okay.
I couldn't like recommend it enough. It totally changed my perspective on writing. And now it's like, whenever I hit a roadblock or a writer's block, it's like, oh, okay, now I know this next part's going to be even sicker because it's got to be in the pot just a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
That
kinda-
actually makes perfect sense too, because like if you're writing by yourself, I feel like you have a vision in your head already, and you're like, I want to make this sound.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're writing that sound.
Mhm.
But you go to a producer, even though if you go with music that you already have,
Mhm.
if you go with an open mind and are okay with things changing, it takes on a whole new life. And so
Mhm.
going there with nothing, I can't even imagine how freeing
Mm.
that could be. It's just like, it's just creativity. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, I heard this song, I think it's sick. This is a riff I worked on, and then next thing you know, it just builds and builds
it
and builds.
comes out, and
I-
next thing you know, you got a song. It's
I remember Cliff didn't want to bring the saxophone too. Like I was like, "Yo, dude, bring it.
Bring the
bring the
sax.
alto. Do it."
And
He's
then
like, I
that's
don't know,
when-
man. I don't think we're gonna play it. And I'm like,
Oh, we are.
So did you hear Peach Club before doing that?
I did.
Okay.
I don't think it was part of the music that we played prior to writing, though.
Mhm.
So it is interesting that it turned out in that way.
Yeah.
We listened to a lot of like 60s and 70s funk.
Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of
Ooh.
like the driving point. I think
Yeah.
Cliff was like, "Hey, I want to take what we have and put it under pocket." So
Which he's phenomenal
Absolutely
at
really
at
good
that
at that.
pocket drumming.
I
Oof.
literally, I heard the new music and I was like, that's a lot of Cliff.
I will
Mm.
I will never play with another drummer. It's
He's
gotta be Cliff.
phenomenal.
I will quit if he does. Like he cannot
Just
go.
such an interesting
I need
element to
that
bring to our
guy.
music, and so it's cool mixing those two worlds together and realizing that there is a lot of similarities between them.
Mhm.
So it just works out. for
Yeah, I
us.
mean, I hear a lot of different influences. There's like Paramore, there's Amorosa, and then there's like all the just like funk in general. Just like anything that's just like kind of makes you like, ooh, I like this. It kind of makes me want to move, bob my head a little bit.
And it's Emerald Beach.
That's the
It's
magic of going in raw, like with nothing. Like
splash of water, you know.
yeah, add water. Good
Yeah, I
Lord.
mean, I'm kind of in the. I've always been the type of person to be like, you always want something to work off of when you're going in the studio,
Mhm.
whether it be like just a single riff or something like that. But I guess going in just saying like, a Revenant just recently went to the studio and we actually like we spit out 3 songs, but one of them was like we met with a producer and we showed him some riffs and he was like, well, why don't we just start from scratch? Like, these are all cool, but like, I'm just trying to like write something cool.
That was
And we
his
were like,
quiet way of being like, I'm not inspired by any of this.
I mean, fair, it happens. But yeah, I mean, the song ended up being pretty cool. It just took a little bit longer than we expected, but like, you got to be patient with that kind of stuff anyway.
Mm.
yeah.
It's all a process, and when you just kind of let it go and just have faith in your ability to get it there, and the song leads you, it's always awesome where it goes, I think. So
Especially when you do work with a producer that's
Mm.
been at it and like knows like when something is good and not good.
Right.
So
right.
Oh, yeah.
Beasley's really good at that.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
go to somebody who you're like, you know what, I'm comfortable handing this to you and just being like, let's like your input matters to me.
Mhm.
If you go to somebody that hasn't written music that you or been a part of music that you care about, or it depends on what you're looking for, I guess, because some people go to the studio with just like, I want you to press record,
Right.
and then some want to collaborate. So if you're going to collaborate and you're going to somebody who has music that you respect, and you can just be like, your opinion on this matters so much to me. You can collaborate so well and do exactly what you guys did and write new songs.
He heard our singles and stuff and was like, "Yo, I really want to get you out here and record with you." And we had the all of Middle Ground pretty much workshopped, and we went in there and he was like, "Yeah, I dig all of this," and we cut and paste a lot of it. We changed a little bit, and then we trusted Will Beasley enough that we were just like, just go in nothing.
Mhm.
Like I think we only had like one song demoed, and we didn't even use that song.
Yeah, it terrified me to death going in.
I
First
loved it.
time.
I
was
loved
like,
seeing him like that.
yeah, I was like,
It
dude,
was
we
so
can't
fun.
just have nothing.
We
Like,
can.
What am I gonna
We
do?
absolutely can.
But like before that, I had like a lot of issues with like just like holding on too tight to the demos.
Mhm.
So it's like it was really cool to go in there and just be like just watch that wash away.
Mhm.
And like now coming back and sitting in and writing new music now for Emerald Beach, it's just like so open, and I'm like, wow, this was like the experience that I needed. I couldn't recommend it enough. So
And there's something that happens, at least for me, there's something that happens whenever I play other people's music. Like I'll play a cover or something,
Mhm.
and I will hit my drums so much harder, and I will play with so much more like gusto and passion and whatever, because I'm a fan of that song.
Mm.
And then going to Beasley and having like the songs change bits and pieces here and just add these little things, or even have a song completely change, I then became a new fan of the song, as opposed to me having a hand in writing it originally. And I've been sitting on it for however long. I got tired of it.
Mhm.
Like I was like, it almost feels like I'm playing a cover, but it's not. But it comes with that same energy. So I love that.
It's beautiful.
So I wanted to you said you have 3 songs total. Is that's everything that's recorded? You have the 2 singles that are by the time this comes out released,
Mhm.
and then the one new one. Do you have other music you're sitting on, or?
oh, we have so much music.
I was like, you
Really?
said you wrote as soon as everything
oh
went
yeah,
down.
yeah, we've
Been writing since like we started, and we kind of haven't really stopped.
just been coming out.
We have like maybe an album and a half. like
what?
just
Like a full length?
Just
like a
sitting.
full length.
Not like an actual full length.
No, like
Enough
10
music
10 tracks.
to fill one.
Like 10 tracks. You shut up, Tyler. We have 10 tracks like just sitting in one demo EP in his iTunes, and then just a bunch of other raw stuff we've had going on.
All right, so what's happening with that? Because
So
we write it, and then it's just like that.
So we have it, and we went in and did this stuff with Will, and so we've got these 3 singles that are completed, ready to be released, and from there we've got this bank of songs where it's like I'm really digging the vibe on them, so we'll take those, and I'm thinking we'll block them out into like pieces and just put them out, and then we also have music that we wrote post Beasley, these 3 singles that we're sitting on for even more future. So
man, that's got to be such a good feeling
Just have,
to
yeah,
just
having a
have all this
stockpile.
stuff. It's like we have music that's coming out, and we have other music that like will come out at some point probably, but like who knows?
part of it's also like Tyler has his own studio and stuff, and so we'll record like the demos through him, and like we'll like, well, let's see if we can bring him to Will Beasley or something. And part of it is like we don't know if we can bring the full length and afford it, but now that we're like he's getting better producing and recording, we're starting to be like, yo, like let's see what you can do. Let's see if you can do it. Like I believe in you, and that's kind of how like we're trying to move forward now with it, right? Like
yeah,
I mean, a mix and master is a lot cheaper than going out and recording. So
exactly,
if
doing
that
everything homemade is just
right.
I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like in general though, like because of the pandemic, people were becoming a little bit more self-sufficient and stuff like
course.
that.
Mhm.
yeah, his learning curve got so much more improved. I
Well,
think,
I've
with recording.
been dabbling in producing since like 2013, so I've been like really hammering that in kind of on the back for a
Mhm.
while, and now I'm reaching this point now where I feel like I may be able to self-produce fully, all the way up to the mastering.
wow.
I can't master, like I'm not super confident in my mastering, but
Mhm.
I would send it out for mastering. But we are thinking about going self-produced for a while just to maximize song output.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We kind of randomly, like last weekend, went to Guitar Center and came back, and he was like, "Yo, I kind of want to write a song," and I was like, "Yeah, sure. What kind of song?" He's like, "We could do like a heavy song, just not anything for Emerald Beach, just something heavy for both of us." I was like,
Just right.
absolutely. And I remember we would say that back in like 2014, 15, 16, whatever, and I'd be sitting there for like hours listening to him like get the right drums and stuff, and like 5 minutes, all right, let's record. He'd already have all the drum tracks ready. He'd have the tone ready. I'm like, dude, like you are so much better, like so much faster at this now. Even just like writing beats for like SoundCloud. It's like, yeah, man, I'm on it. He'd take all night to write a beat, and then like 10 minutes later, he's like, all right, let's track it. Like I don't even have anything written for it yet. I'm like, well, what are we doing?
So you are doing live drums.
Yes.
You have a space for live drums and everything.
Our
That's
garage,
being
yeah.
built right now. Yeah, I just got the
Wow.
cable snake that can reach to the garage, and I'm just waiting on mics now. So once that's going, I've already tracked at the house, drums at the house with Gonzo. But moving forward, I'm trying to get that all set up. So
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Mhm.
It's definitely nice having somewhere where you can like demo at bare minimum
Bare
demo
minimum
everything's
demo,
out.
yeah.
Yes.
And then when you get to a point where it's like, yo, I kind of want to release this.
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Mhm.
That's
that's
We've
what
already
we're trying
got
to get.
already got diffusers and stuff in the garage. We just need to soundproof it just a little bit more and get that reverb just right. That room sound is just almost there.
It's almost there.
so. Do you have anything that you've recorded start to finish? Like everything is tracked.
Oh yeah, all of these songs that we have, like this album and a half of songs, are fully tracked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like part of them are like
Well-
I think like we have like some that are just like rough, like
Up to
we're
the
like,
chorus.
Yeah, up to the chorus, or like you're like I don't know about this part. It's just
Of
kinda
course,
rough.
you know.
Yeah,
Works in
But
progress.
some of them are like,
Yeah, done.
yo, let's just
Yeah.
redo this and track it again the right way. I'm like, yes.
Did you do any of that stuff with Until the Wind Shifts or any other projects, or did it kind of start with?
So it was kind of happening until the wind shifts. Until the wind shifts, all of our music was demoed through me. And actually, the Imagine Impact album I produced. I didn't
Okay.
I didn't mix and master though. That was Zach Jones. So I was kind of already dipping my toes in it. It wasn't nearly as like I wasn't as proud of it then, but like looking back, it's like I was kind of doing it then, and now I've just kind of really started to polish it. So
And you really look back at it, it's like a stepping stone. You're just like, wow, I was able to do that at this point in time. You'd be able to look back and see what you have now. And you're like, well, yeah, there's definitely some progress.
It definitely helped going to Will Beasley and seeing how he did things and like
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You
oh,
learned
yeah.
so
Click
much
their
from a
brain.
producer
clicked
like
in his
that.
head how it works, and he's like, he got a lot of good experience out of going there. I think we all did, really.
And so with that, also, you guys have been around forever, and been in bands for years. And so something I've asked previously, and I love the stories that come out of this. If you had to think of like the craziest tour story or show story or anything like that, like things went crazy, things went bad, whatever it could be from this project or previous projects. What comes to mind?
Do you want to go first?
I'd love to.
Which one are we telling?
I was going to do the why story.
I'm really glad something immediately popped in your head.
Okay.
That grin made me really excited.
So it was our first tour with Emerald Beach. We were playing with dead friends and stuff. It was the last day. We were in Salisbury, Maryland. We all had Y memberships except Tyler and our videographer, Zach, who went with us. And Matthew, Cliff, and I would... we'd all go in and stuff. We'd all work out. Like, we'd all get up at separate times. I think me and Matthew got up together at one point, and then Cliff just kind of rolled in, would finish working out with us and stuff. And then we'd go hit the showers, and we'd all shower together, but not like together.
Nice.
Like, the dividers and stuff always kept us apart. And the Salisbury, Maryland one, that one did not have any dividers.
Oh, boy.
Tyler picked up on it first, and we were all sitting in the sauna chilling out. And I saw him walk past the sauna to go shower, and I was like, "What's he doing?" And he walked away, and I'm like, "Oh, he missed out. We didn't all shower together." And I realized why, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, so I guess we're getting to this point now. We're gonna have to look at each other." I didn't mind. Everybody else they were iffy about it. It was just.
I think what surprised me the most is Zach was like totally down. Like,
yeah, he was like, "Yo, hell yeah!" And I was
like, "Yo, let's go!"
I'm stoked. Let's do this.
Hey,
I love showering with the homies.
Yeah. I don't want to
like,
talk
no
about
thanks.
anybody's work. That's theirs. That's theirs to talk about. Ladies, you can hit them up about it, but
that was the talk of the tour for him.
that was.
I was about to say that is like such like a turning point of like.
If
just
you see each
touring.
other's dicks, like like you're stuck with
You're
each other.
stuck, exactly.
You reached a whole nother level of comfort.
Yeah.
Oh man, so you were the only you missed out on it.
He
missed out.
he didn't want to go.
I didn't want to
He
do
didn't
it.
want to be a part.
I didn't want to be a part of it.
He chickened out. I know he's got it. I know he's got something. I know he's carrying. I know he's packing. He's
Interesting. Okay, ladies or gentlemen,
whoever floats the boat.
Mine goes back. Mine goes back towards the Until the Wind Shift Stays.
Okay.
We were on a tour with Drop the Girl, and it was the Hotline Spring Tour. It was the only tour we did. I think we did like a little one-off one.
Oh,
day,
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I played the kickoff of that.
At Shotguns?
The Virginia
Yeah.
Beach one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I get
goes
the
back.
pink flyer, the whole thing.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Oh, that was a good show. Go ahead.
So we were stuck in Raleigh for like forever. Like Drop the Girl's van broke down, and so they had to like chill with us, and like we had to drive them in our van like all the way to the hotel. That's like a band of 6 plus a band of 4 in our van.
Oh no.
In the little itty bitty like 6-seater.
Yeah.
7-seater or whatever.
So we pull up.
Oh,
this-
y'all were in the conversion van, right?
Yeah, the first conversion.
Oh
van. Mhm.
no.
The Dodge. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of floor room in those.
Yeah, there was.
was that before Ethan, or was Ethan in the band at the time? No, he
No,
wasn't.
that was Gonzo.
So yeah.
So yeah, we pull up to a hotel to stay the night there, since obviously we can't sleep in the van because there's not enough room.
Right.
So we get in this hotel, and we someone goes in and gets the hotel, and then we sneak everybody in one by one to just stay in this little 2-bed hotel, 12 dudes. And there was a gas station in the parking lot that sold liquor all night.
Mm-hmm.
Bad idea.
Wow, what a combination.
Bad idea. It got really bad very quick.
I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that's right. Matthew
took over. Our Matthew took over for me. I was in school at the time, and that's kind of why we started hanging out with him, because like he took over for me, and
That's right.
yeah, that's when we
wow.
became friends. Yep, that tour was the reason Matthew was like
In our band.
in our circle for that, and then became our guitarist.
He
Yeah,
filled in
pretty
for
cool.
Mike. That's crazy.
So what transpired? What happened?
yeah, you got to talk about it. I don't know.
Yeah. He set the stage and that was it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. He was
Fair.
just kicking it off. I kicked off mine. Really
I'm pretty
well.
sure someone peed out the window naked.
While driving?
No, like
Oh,
the hotel window.
Oh,
Did it have like a-
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, my
Balcony
God.
or
What
just
floor?
a straight window?
Just straight out the window.
Well, do you know what floor you were on? Were you up
They
there?
were like 3rd floor.
Oh, okay.
I think. Maybe
Oh,
second.
Man.
All I've ever seen is pictures and like 5-second snaps of like the night, and like there's like somebody in a toilet like butt naked or whatever.
Yeah. Matthew drinks way too much and like vampires out on the bed, and then just is there all night, just like, and then finally he just goes like, opens his eyes like really wide, sits up, turns over, and like just throws up all over Gonzo's towels.
Specifically,
and this
Gonzo.
is while Gonzo is walking out of the bathroom, and he looks and he goes, "Dude, my towels!"
Also, shout out to Matthew, by the way. It is his birthday today.
It is.
Hey,
Matthew's
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Shout out
And then
to
Cliff's is in
Matthew.
like a couple days.
Wow.
They're both Pisces.
Mm.
Damn.
Well, happy birthday and happy early birthday.
Yes.
Or belated, depending on when they hear this.
When
I
they hear,
guess- I
they will
guess that's
definitely
true.
be belated when they hear this.
Okay,
Absolutely.
fair enough.
Like yeah.
Mhm.
So you clearly had you missed the shower thing, but you got to experience that, and
did.
a bunch of people being naked anyways.
Mhm. I can't get away from it.
Yeah,
man.
right?
Like, yeah.
Everybody around you.
I mean,
I try-
it's
everyone
just
just-
touring.
It
Yep.
is.
People get naked.
Yep.
It is. It is a part of life, getting naked.
I mean, Casey, you haven't like toured.
No.
So like you can't relate to this.
Nope.
No. it
I've
happens,
never
man.
I've never toured. It's always the closest I got was we played one show in
Jersey?
Delaware. In Delaware, and it was. There's a story with that show actually. It was a show swap. And we got there, and Ryan didn't bring his ID because he was a dude who liked to like not have pockets, and so all of his belongings were just in his hand. He'd have a wallet with 48 cards in it, and his keys with 39 keys to what he doesn't know, and his phone,
Murder janitor
which also
mistake.
had a battery case, so his phone was this thick. And he just would walk around with stuff and things, and he just was a mess all the time. And so we get all the way to Delaware, and then he's like, "Yeah, I don't have my wallet."
Oh, honey.
And initially he just brought it up because it was like, "You cool with like spotting me on food?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever, I don't care."
But the ID situation.
He wasn't allowed in.
Oh.
The bar turned him around immediately, and he was like, I'm playing," and they were like, "That sucks because we can't do shit for you."
Sucks to suck.
So we were like, what do? We just drove however many hours to get here, and it was with Awake at Last, and they came out and they were like, I don't know. And then so we devised this plan to like, I wish
You snuck him.
we snuck him in. I need to ask him like how we did it, but there was like some people went and distracted the right people, and like we snuck him in just like for our set, and then he just kind of like hung out and was like, all right, I don't think anybody like is paying any attention anymore, and we're good. And during our set, we had this elderly couple swing dance to our set, which I found hilarious.
That's fantastic.
Other people were upset about it. I was like, this is so
That's
funny.
sick.
That's whatever,
Yeah, that's
dude.
kinda-
I was like, our
that's
band
how
is
it be.
weird anyways, so like whatever. Like what
That's
are they
how it
supposed
They're
to
having
do?
fun. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I was
so
like, this is
Yeah.
sick. I've always been like the type of person that like, so I get like really nervous, and tense or whatever. But the moment that I see anybody reacting, singing along, moshing, or just doing anything other than
Yeah, arms crosses.
like,
is-
you see somebody just
I try not to do that anymore, or I tried not to do that anymore before COVID. Yeah, I used to just sit in the back and just watch, and I'm like, get involved more. Let people know
It's-
you're out.
I mean,
there.
it's hard. Like
It is
I
sometimes.
usually try to stand side stage because it's hard to get a crowd stoked and moving and everything if there's 9 people.
part of me
It's
is
just
like
difficult.
Part of me is like, if I'm gonna stand and watch this, I might as well stand by the merch table and like multitask, like watch this and try and sell. You know, like it's also the mindset you got to be into. Like if you're there and you're playing a show and like something's going on at home, like you're not gonna be there all the way.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the same thing with like life in general. But you know, being able to figure out how to get out of that and just like either ignore it or just work with it, you know, like going to the merch table.
What's
or
it going to be
whatever.
like when shows come back? Are there going to be no more like back of the room arm crossers because people are just going to be stoked?
For a while, I think it's going to be very like they're going to be numb to it. They're going to be like, yeah. and just,
I
like, throw
hope,
down.
man. Like,
Yeah.
as I know we both are, and I know that you guys have been around for a long time. Also, like just going to shows, how different it used to be back when like Old Relevant was a thing, Skate High, and all those places. Like it just there would be 100 people there for no reason. It'd be all local bands.
I
A
wouldn't know
local
half
band
of
would
them.
go on stage,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
in
like
like
70%
in
of them,
G sharp, and just go bow, and then people would start
Everybody
fighting
would
and
come
stage
up,
diving, and it just was chaos. And now it's like you could be honestly a phenomenal band, and it's hard to sell 30 tickets to a show or whatever. It's like it's tough.
Yeah, part of it, like I think part of our allure with shows is like we're really palate cleansing, you know, between like pop punk and hardcore.
We never really like fit 100% in.
We either don't fit the card or like we are the card, so like it worked out. But we would play between like, you know, pop punk band and a hardcore band.
Yep.
And or like, you know, there'd be like a couple of bands before us, and then we'd play and just like change everything, change the whole mood of the place. Like you can feel it. It stinks in there afterward of a mood change. And it's fun. What are you doing?
A little ant.
Oh.
How the fuck you get in here?
Get back here.
I can relate to that so well with Give 'em Helka that it just like we didn't know what we were. Nobody knew what we were. And it was like we're either the heaviest band on the show as a not very heavy band or not heavy enough. We were never the right amount of, because that's what unfortunately mattered at those shows was like, can I fight to your music? No, then my arms are crossed.
We had moments where we were like, do we want to write heavier stuff? I'm like, no, let's write lighter stuff. Whatever, dude. I don't care.
Literally, just write what you want.
Yeah.
100%.
We don't need to be the lighter. We don't need to be heavy. We can
Let's just be us. Let's be the best us we can be.
Just throw down and just whatever. You know, if you want to get heavy to it, whatever. You want to just dance to it, whatever, you know?
I think that's something that like the music scene over here might just benefit from, which is having different styles. And I think you guys can, you know, really trailblaze that because we all grew up from the same thing, like post-hardcore, metalcore, like. And
like every band, it deserves their spot for sure. Like we all have a reason to be here. We all have a reason to want to play, but like, if you can change your sound and if you want to play what you want to play, you know, rather than what they want you to play, you might find something that nobody else has ever heard before, you know?
That's why I always loved mixed bill shows that were all the way mixed bill, not like a hardcore show with a pop punk band.
Yes.
Because it's like that pop punk band's going to have a hard time.
So much stuff.
Yeah, and then people are like, I came here with this energy, you're not providing the energy back, so I'm going to go smoke or whatever. And it's just a bad experience for everybody. It looks like Cam has something to say.
I stand fighting for slow and melodic songs. I stand it. If you can pull out a good melodic song or just like a good riff or something, like fight to it. Whatever.
Just fight.
Throw people off. They won't know what's coming.
I stand for Cam.
Anytime there's a circle pit going on, I always sit down in the middle and row.
I feel like I've seen that before.
I've seen that before.
I'm notorious for it. I'm like, yeah, that's my call out.
Yeah, there's just an energy that it got pretty bad here for a little while with some of the heavier stuff and it getting from like saying like fight that was like kind of a joke and then it was like now people are like really fighting and shows are getting shut down and gears getting broken and so I'm very curious to see what energy gets brought to these first shows that come in the coming months or whatever whenever things can start happening again.
I mean, people are not going to know how to act. It's just how it always is.
We're going to be,
but that's what I want. Like,
I'm not going to know what to do either.
My favorite shows are always the just utter chaos shows. Like I'll be worried about, or I'm not even worried about it. I don't care. But like getting jumped on or punched or whatever. But like whenever it's just movement, everything is just chaos. Those are always the best shows.
Right, like start to finish, like the energy never wavers throughout the show because people are just enjoying it.
The local show that I think of is Turnstile and The Story So Far.
Oh, geez.
That show was just utter movement the entire show. And also, whenever I saw the Front Bottoms at the National, that was the happiest show I've ever been to. It was just a crowd of the lamest people. But everybody having the best. Everybody was just like, I'm a loser. I relate to what you're saying so hard, and I'm going to sing my heart out. And I was like, me too, man. Like, I feel you.
Remember I went to go see Foxing and Balance and Composure in Richmond on the Broadberry, like back in 2016, 2017, something like that. And I remember it was really smooth, really, really normal, and this was when Balance had their new album out and they played like a couple of songs from the new album, great, and then they started playing some stuff from Separated and I was like, oh no, here we go. And I see people throwing and I'm like, oh man, here they come. Yeah, seeing everybody just start stage diving and throwing around. Like I was in the front and I remember I'm like, here it comes, and like I felt the push and I was like, yep. I could time it as soon as I could see the set list and I'm like, I gotta watch out for that one. It was like
The Broadberry is a great place for that.
It's so good.
I love the Broadberry.
I love the free water there. Like they had the lemon water like in the keg.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. I haven't been to the I saw Periphery there like I don't know 8 years ago. Yeah, I saw Periphery there, and they brought along this band. I think they were called Sharp Tooth or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know about them.
They were they were brand new. Like Periphery had they were recording in Baltimore and or Silver Springs or whatever with Taylor
Bethesda.
and Bethesda.
We recorded there
one
too.
of those
Yep.
one of those places, and they were also recording there. And I guess somebody from Periphery, I think it was Spencer, just heard them and was like, "Yo, like I really like y'all. You want to come on tour?" And they were like, "Yeah."
Fuck yeah.
Because I talked to Spencer after the show, and he was like, "What do you guys think about this about Sharp Tooth?" And I was like, "Yo, they were so good. They brought so much energy." And then Periphery came on, and they sounded exactly like the album, which I've never seen anybody get that close to an album, especially like that.
That was when they were doing like Alpha and Omega, wasn't it? Or
Yeah,
like,
Clear had just come out, I think. So it was before. Yeah.
Oh,
And they didn't play anything from Clear.
Yeah, of course.
Unfortunately, I really.
I thought
hoped
it was
that they
like
would.
right when Nolly came on. Then was it?
Nolly had been around for a while.
Oh, okay.
Nolly was on P2. I don't think he was on P1.
I don't remember any of Periphery's past.
Mm.
Yeah.
Have you heard their most recent album?
Oh, Blood Eagle, right?
Yeah.
I have. Yeah.
It-
I gave it
That was
once or
Hail
twice.
Stand?
gave it a
I
go
feel
on.
the same way.
Yeah.
Hail Stand. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Blood Eagle was like this song rips, and then I got over it.
Mhm.
Reptile, I think, is a phenomenal song.
Honestly, Reptile, I can listen to that and be just happy with that release.
Yeah,
Just listen to the 16 minutes
I
of
agree
Reptile
completely.
and say, all right, that was a good album.
Being a bass player and hearing the tone and select difficulty, it will never be anything different, and I will never have anything else to base my tone, what my tone needs to sound
That's
like.
it.
After that.
And-
That's
and
it.
drums
all be
also
all.
that mix
Pinnacle.
that mix in general was the best mix they've had. They went down in my opinion.
Music in general plateaued after that.
Yeah,
Just like tone.
that's
That's
that
it. That was
album Marigold is on that album,
Yes.
which is arguably one of their best songs. But man,
Scarlet.
that mix, the drums are so it's the perfect amount of just natural huge drums mixed to clarity.
They
It's
went
so
to
good.
town on those top toms.
how they
Like
play
you have no idea how many sounds top toms have. Like
Well, I mean, and for select difficulty, first song where it starts with just the blast on the snares and all the snare sounds phenomenal. And it's just
Yeah.
like it's so good
The album
off the
just
rip.
kicks
You're
in.
like, all right, well, that snare sounds really fucking good.
we're
Oh,
in
yeah.
this now.
So y'all liked all of that. How did you feel about Bring Me's most recent release? Have you guys heard it?
I
Yes,
love bringing
I
these
love
new
it.
releases.
Yo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
It's
Yeah.
I have it as my favorite album of 2020. Came out at the very end, but still my favorite album of that year.
I think my favorite album of the year was Pine Grove's Marigold. That was my go-to.
I haven't
That
heard
one
it.
I know, that's the left field one. They just it was just an indie band that's just from New Jersey, and they just
It's really
sound
good.
amazing.
It's
If you ever wanna
Just
listen-
nailed it.
Whole vibe.
Yeah, it's just it sounds like road country indie song, and it's just
like country emo.
it's just
Country
so
Well,
emo. Alrighty. I'm
the guy who
checking
Okay.
that out
the
now.
guy who
Yeah.
sings the guy who sings in the band. Apparently, his dad wrote the J.G. Wentworth single.
Supposedly.
That's that.
So it's catchy.
Allegedly.
It's jingly and catchy.
Yeah,
It's a fantastic
I actually
song
heard
writing.
about it through Twitter, and like Tyler told me before as well. Like he had somebody he knew from, I think, Sorority Noise tell John and then tell you.
No, I stumbled upon Pine Grove in a playlist.
No, but I remember like them telling you about.
Oh
the
yeah,
J.G.
the
single.
dude from Sorority Noise.
Sorority Noise,
was
yeah.
in. I don't know,
But yeah, going back on Bring Me the Horizon, like I dug that one. That
I like
was,
Ammo a little more.
Ammo's good, but
I've never heard anybody say that.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I love
Casey, you
Ammo.
almost sounded offended.
No, I mean, different albums for different people.
different strokes. for
I
different
definitely
folks.
Ammo was fine. I really like Nihilus Blues for some reason. That song just like it's the weirdest song, but man, is it good.
Mhm.
But I
Medicine was mine.
nothing has blown me away like Bring Me's post survival
Posthuman.
horror, post-human
Right.
survival horror.
Ooh.
Like every single song on that album, I was like, what the fuck? It's so good.
I like Ludens, but I like the live in Japan Vivo on
Mhm.
YouTube.
Mhm.
That is like that just makes everything come together and just full circle, and it's like
Have you seen all of the like I don't know webisodes or whatever you would call it that they did on their YouTube page?
no.
They documented basically all of it because they started recording Parasite Eve before or started like writing it and recording it before COVID happened.
Oh,
And so they have that filmed of them just
That
like,
documented.
we're just writing, we're trying, sometimes meeting up, sometimes over FaceTime, and then COVID happened, and like you get to see them go through that transition. It's really well documented. It's cool. It's all on their YouTube. I would definitely recommend it.
Right.
I think every band now, like when they're doing big albums, I think Periphery does a documentary
They do,
for
they
every
do.
Yeah, every time.
every time.
Don Broco's doing that right
Don
now.
Broco
Yeah, they
does
are.
too.
Are they really?
They're literally like 2-minute like
I love 'em.
episodes,
Yep.
but
I love 'em.
there's like 15 of them.
It's perfect.
It's crazy because like I feel like I'm watching like some like British comedy with the dry humor. It's like they're embodying it because they
Yep.
know that like their American audience, especially, like they're gonna dig that because it's so fucking weird.
Exactly. It's so asymmetrical.
It makes me so happy that a band like Don Broco is as big as they are anywhere, but especially how big they are in Europe. It's just like, because they're so weird. But bands being that weird and being that big just gives me so much hope for music in general. It's like, okay, cool. A band like that can play arenas.
Yeah.
I love their drum work so much. Like every time I hear technology, like I have to snap my finger, and like I've gotten my fingers so strong from just that snap, just because I turn up the music loud and just.
Wait, the snap.
I got to
just
hear
like
it
a-
over.
Oh my, that is impressive.
just
That's
loud.
gonna be a good snap on the podcast
I might
too. It's
sample
gonna
that.
sound good.
Ooh,
So
clean ones.
album of the year 2020. What was yours?
Album of the year. Oh man.
Kind of throwing it at you, but
Oh yeah.
I had
2020.
I knew he was going to ask. I had my answer ready.
To be honest, it was the new The Neighborhood album.
Oh,
also one I haven't heard.
I really loved it. The visuals were there, but I don't know why it just hit for me. Like all of the new Neighborhood. So that's the Chip Chrome one.
I heard Chip and I thought Skylark.
Oh, yes,
That's-
Chip
that's what
Skylark.
My shiny teeth in me is all I want to hear. Like I just want to hear that again. We talked about it last night, but did you come up with anything else?
I mean, I was supposed to go through my like year in rewind, like year in review, but I mean, I guess Posthumous is probably my best. It's like
yeah.
like I listened to the singles over the summer when they released them,
Mhm.
and I was like, it's one of those times where I was like super stoked for the release. Like I was super stoked for what the rest of the songs are gonna sound like, and they just didn't disappoint. So
I wasn't until Obey. Ludens was fine. Parasite Eve, I was like, this is really cool. I thought the video was really interesting. But whenever I heard Obey, I was like, oh, all right.
The music
There's-
video with Obey was
The
like,
music video was so sick.
dude, every time I watch a music video now, I'm just like, wow, they do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
They
why,
can
but I
do
love
that.
the drum fill in the chorus. Like it's just so simple, but it was like do dun, and it comes back.
Oh,
in.
yeah.
It's like so simple, but for some reason it just like it hits for me. Like
Yeah,
the
there's
chorus.
certain
It's
stuff
well
that just
done.
flows
It was
the right
funny
way.
because like, in the Downbeat podcast by Craig Reynolds, he talked to Jordan, who produces all their music, and it was funny because it was before they even mentioned their EP.
Mhm.
But he was like, "Yeah, man, we just don't dig them. We just don't write metal anymore."
Mhm.
And then they fucking come out with the EP, and it's just like,
Yep.
the first song is "Dear Diary," and you're like, "You fucking liar!"
Way too much.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it has to be that. Like I said before, that has to be the album. I don't think they were gonna do anything new. 2020's biggest tragedy being My Chemical Romance not being able to fulfill any of their shows.
I almost saw.
Obviously,
Dance
kidding.
Gavin
Not
Dance
the
live.
biggest tragedy, but
I remember we got tickets to see Dance Gavin Dance, and I was pretty
gonna be such
devastated
a
that
good
got
show.
canceled. And then it got rescheduled because they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna come back in October." And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And
LOL,
then it got
Album
canceled.
of the
psych.
year.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Afterburner.
Afterburner. Was
Afterburner, yes.
so good.
I
I,
mean-
still listen to it. And they got a Tree City Sessions out now, which I love that. That's a good one. It's their live
Definitely.
recordings.
well, hopefully we'll get to see some of these bands this year or at least next year. We'll see
I don't
how
know.
everything-
Fall's looking like it. We could have a good fall
Mhm.
It's
here
looking
in the
good.
US.
Yeah.
So
It's a potential.
Yeah.
It's
Gotta
definitely
hope.
you
Gotta
got to
hope.
cross your
You gotta
fingers and
hope, yeah.
toes, and you got to
And-
keep washing your hands and get the vaccine. Get
Please.
it back out there.
all
Get the
that
vaccine,
stuff. Yeah,
man.
I mean,
two shots.
if you can do it,
please do.
do it.
Yeah, just we have to just hope, but like also prepare if things don't work well,
Yeah.
which is I feel like everyone's doing with writing music and
Hope for the
just,
best, prepare for the worst.
Exactly.
That's how it
I
is.
think
My
we're
life
doing a
just
good job
doesn't
of that.
change. I've been home. I work from home, so I was up there. I came down here.
I wish buildings could get built by me not coming in. but that's
just not how it
that's
works.
Just, yeah,
It's all computer work for me.
Yeah.
But
Lucky us.
yeah, it seems like a good place to close it out. Is there anything that you guys, anything else you want to promote? Anything else you want to maybe announce? Something else? Up to y'all. Do what you want.
You're in charge here. You the hoss. You the boss.
The big cheese.
You the big cheese.
Nah,
the big kahuna.
I think we're good. I think we kind of covered everything that we wanted to talk about. Really stoked to release the music and just hope everybody enjoys it. Like, it's really about it.
Hell yeah. I mean, Algorithms, great song, great video.
Thank you.
It's going to be out by the time this comes out. So go watch it. We'll link to everything on our socials, and we'll have your socials. Just look at them and you'll understand why I'm laughing. I'm not gonna call it out now, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you everybody for listening. Tune in next week.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Later, y'all.